Autumn-winter 2025 is the season where fashion is finally telling the truth. The era of gimmicks and shock value is over, and the only thing that matters now is what you can actually wear with power, elegance, and self-respect. These aren't trends designed for TikTok likes or fast fashion clones. These are the codes that will define who carries authority and who looks like they're chasing relevance. The most wearable trends this season are built on refinement, not noise. Clothes that actually work for you, that move through your life with ease, but still say everything about who you are without you having to open your mouth. That's what wearability means now. Style that doesn't cheapen you, style that doesn't expose desperation, style that lasts longer than the micro-trend lifespan of 6 weeks. Here's the brutal truth. If your clothes look like they were picked straight from a Pinterest board, if they scream for attention with logos, cutouts, or cheap fabrics, you already look outdated. Autumn-winter 2025 is not rewarding exposure or chaos. It's rewarding those who understand restraint. The woman who walks into a room dressed with composure, with fabrics and cuts that elevate her without flaunting, is always going to be admired more than the one trying to prove her worth with every inch of skin showing. Wearability this season is about authority. It's about how much control you project. When you put something on, does it make you look powerful, timeless, and magnetic? Or does it make you look like you're begging for validation? That's the filter every trend should pass through in 2025. And let's be clear, wearable doesn't mean boring. It means edited. It means every element of your look has intention. No clutter, no chaos, no screaming for approval. Just richness, presence, and elegance. This is why the quiet codes of luxury, discipline, subtlety, refinement are still dominating, but with more personality, more individuality. It's about being unforgettable without forcing it. Autumn-winter 2025 is the reset fashion needed. The trends you'll actually wear are the ones that will protect your elegance, not strip it away. This season is not about chasing, it's about leading. And that's why GTWJ exists, because we're not here to sugarcoat or sell you fads. We're here to tell you the truth about what fashion means now and why the most wearable trends this fall aren't trends at all, they're standards. Autumn-winter 2025 doesn't just mark a new fashion season, it's marking a cultural split. This is the moment where we separate what's timeless from what's temporary, what actually empowers from what only pretends to. Because let's be brutally honest, a lot of what's been called fashion in recent years has been nothing more than noise. Clothes designed to shock for a second, outfits engineered to go viral on a TikTok screen, silhouettes made to expose rather than elevate. And people are finally done with it. The fatigue is real. This season, the trends that matter are the ones that hold up under real light, real life, and real scrutiny. The most wearable codes right now are not about screaming who you are, they're about never needing to explain. Autumn-winter 2025 is built on sophistication, mystery, and discipline. It's about understanding that restraint is far more magnetic than chaos, that you don't need to reveal everything to be unforgettable. That elegance is not just a look, it's an energy. And this season, the energy is clear. People want to look put together, not performative. They want to walk into a room and be respected, not pitied. They want to be admired for their intelligence and taste, not just their body or their willingness to overshare. The fashion that's dominating right now is wearable precisely because it's designed to last, not just in your wardrobe, but in people's memory. Wearable in 2025 means intentional. Every line, every layer, every texture is chosen with clarity. No clutter, no chaos, no begging for validation. This is about clothing that doesn't just decorate you, it defines your presence. And that's why the people who understand this shift are standing out while everyone else fades into sameness. The truth is harsh but necessary. The overly sexual, overly loud, overly desperate looks are already dated. What's relevant now is subtle strength, quiet richness, and individuality sharpened by refinement. That's what will dominate autumn-winter 2025, because that's what people are truly craving in their lives, and that's the standard. That's the difference between chasing fashion and mastering style. Follow GTWJ Mag for more, because this is where we don't just tell you what's trending, We tell you why it matters and how it rewrites the codes of elegance. Autumn-Winter 2025 doesn't just introduce new fashion, it draws a line between those who use fashion and those who let fashion use them. This season, the real trends aren't about what piece you pick up, they're about how you embody presence. And the truth is, the women and men who win in style now are the ones who understand that clothes are a language, not a costume. The culture is shifting. We're living in a moment where overexposure no longer reads as liberation, it reads as laziness. Throwing on something short, tight and loud isn't daring, it's predictable. The truly wearable trends this season are about what happens when you reject that desperation. It's the rise of pieces that shield rather than shout, that intrigue rather than expose, that remind people that elegance has always been the highest form of power. What makes Autumn-Winter 2025 so different is how unapologetic it is about this change. There's no sugarcoating anymore. Vulgarity doesn't sell, chaos doesn't impress, and irony doesn't age well. What people want now are clothes that project discipline, refinement, and timelessness. Not for a trend cycle, but for a lifetime. And this is the brutal honesty. If your style doesn't make you look respected, it's not wearable anymore. Wearable in 2025 means it stands up in every room you walk into, every situation, every setting. It communicates authority without needing to explain itself. It leaves people remembering you, not just your outfit. This fall, the trends to watch aren't trends at all. They're codes, ways of dressing that separate the admired from the forgotten. The ones who chase spectacle will look dated before the season is over. The ones who embrace refinement will look timeless for decades. That's the shift. That's why this season matters. And that's what GTWJ will always bring you. Not the noise, but the meaning. The honesty, the psychology, the truth behind fashion. Because Autumn-Winter 2025 isn't just about what to wear. It's about redefining what it means to look powerful, elegant and unforgettable. Fall-Winter 2025 is sharpening the distinction between fashion as consumption and fashion as culture. What dominates now are not disposable trends to fill an Instagram reel, but codes of dressing that define how seriously you're taken. This season strips away illusions. Clothes that scream for attention, that show too much, that rely on cheap fabrics dressed up with a logo. These are no longer markers of style, they're markers of insecurity. The truly wearable looks this year are built on precision, subtlety and longevity. They're not concerned with chasing 6-week fads, they're concerned with protecting your image for years to come. Wearability is not about comfort alone, it's about what communicates presence without effort. This fall, people who are admired are the ones who walk into a room and appear untouchable, not because of noise, but because of control. Elegance has become a form of quiet dominance, and restraint has become the most powerful language of all. This is also the season where fashion has stopped tolerating mediocrity disguised as empowerment. The idea that exposing everything is strength has collapsed. The new reality is that elegance is power, mystery is power, composure is power. That's why the most wearable fashion now is the kind that commands respect before you say a single word. Autumn-Winter 2025 isn't asking you to follow, it's asking you to lead. To embrace timelessness over gimmicks, intention over chaos, and refinement over desperation. The codes of wearability this season are not just about what fits your wardrobe, they're about what shapes how you are remembered. And that's the truth of Fall-Winter 2025. It's not about clothes that decorate you, but clothes that define you. This is fashion no longer playing for likes, it's fashion reclaiming its role as a language of power. GTWJ will always tell you this side of the story, because we're not here to flatter trends, we're here to explain what they mean.